Why should this nation be importing rice?
But that's a question, definitely, that's a question we'll keep asking, even though we've seen some form of effort from some states like Ebonyi, Anambra, Kebbi, partnership with Lagos, but it's still more or less like a drop in the ocean when you put that side by side with a number of persons now looking at the population. And, you know, I'm happy we're talking about rural, you know, agriculture, because you just said agriculture basically is rural when we look at what we're doing back home here. But it's a shame that we still haven't been able to see, you know, a lot of activities happening in rural communities. Is there a way some, you know, maybe cooperatives or, you know, can access such facilities?
No, you talked about the rural financing. Well, there's an ongoing project that we are supporting in Nigeria, which is called Roofing, Rural Finance, you know, Development, in collaboration with the central bank. And this is a huge project where I think there are 12 states or so, 6 or 12 states that are benefiting from this project, helping to create microfinance institutions, helping to build capacities, and then increasing the access of rural populations to owning bank accounts, simple bank accounts, credit accounts, so that they can invest. You see, agriculture should be seen first, it should be seen as rural, but two, as an enterprise, as a business. You know, farming, no matter what the scale or the size, and no matter who is doing it, is a private enterprise. So rural populations, rural farmers are rural entrepreneurs. That's first and foremost. And any business must have access to infrastructure, roads, energy, electricity, financial services, social services, schools, clinics, you name them. Well, look at our rural areas. You just travel. I just came back by road. You know, once you go past an urban area, you know, you're looking at rural areas that have not actually benefited from our oil boom. You know, so if we invest in these rural areas, not only does it create jobs, you know, it generates wealth, it feeds people, it results in cohesive rural populations, but more importantly, you create an environment that becomes an urban area in the rural space that is attractive to youth because they can make a living. What do you end up having? You have a reverse migration from the big cities into the rural areas where they can make a living for themselves. But they have to have opportunities. You see, no government in the world can create jobs for all its population. You have a current youth bulge where youth are looking for jobs, looking for government jobs. But if they understand that the food system itself is not just planting the seed or milking the cow, it's a business. The whole value chain, another project that we're supporting, the value chain on rice and cassava, it goes from growing the crop, storage facilities, transformation, value addition, market information, the role of IT. We have a generation today that has access to IT, a very potent instrument for transformation. Linking farmers to markets. Organizational structures. Farmers have to be organized into cooperatives, no matter how small they are. There is a power in collective action and aggregation of products. So you already see a market, a whole supply chain process there. And that is where the previous administration agricultural transformation agenda, which is now been superseded by the green alternative, which builds on the success of the agricultural transformation agenda, looks at how rural populations can have access and become actually profitable business entrepreneurs in farming.
You know, if I might just take you back a little bit. Mm-hmm. When you started, you talked about 40% of your funding coming to Africa and West mm-hmm. Africa. Now, there are those who would ask questions like, in what areas had these 40% been going into?
Well, I just told you there were 10. We work on the basis of projects that are submitted to us by the government. We don't develop projects. They develop the proposals. We come in to support the financing, and the projects are implemented by government and government institutions. I need to make that clear. So we don't impose. So we respond to the needs of the government, of the people that we work with.
Okay. So
our programs have gone into commodity development programs. That we had a commodity development national resource management program in the southeast. I just talked about the value chain currently going on rice and cassava. I talked about roofing, which is financial inclusion, rural financial inclusion. We have others that have supported women development, empowerment of women, through access to financial services, through access to empowerment, so that they can also have a voice. These are a whole range. You just think about the rural population. You see, the rural population depends on agriculture for its livelihood, and you cannot divorce the transformation of the rural space without an investment in the agricultural sector.
Okay.
And the agricultural sector cuts through the whole fabric of rural life.
So when we'll come back after this break, we'll look at how cooperative societies, you talked about forming into cooperative societies, can tap into IFAD's funding and then moving forward. We'll be back shortly, don't go away.